Okay, so we're continuing our conversation about the possible future or futures of the Republican Party in this time when they've stopped even pretending to be about issues and policy. And as we talked about earlier in the show, they've become the party of performative outrage. What about that new party that Donald Trump might start? Are there a lot of Republicans who would abandon the Republican Party and follow Trump? Or would it be an exercise in futility? Well, we have a poll about this, and the numbers are a disaster for the Republican Party. 64% of registered Republicans, nearly 2/3 of registered Republicans, said as of the last few days of January that they would leave the Republican Party and join a new party led by Donald Trump if he were to do that. Now, very interestingly, 28% of independents and 15% of Democrats also said they would likely join a third party led by Donald Trump. So what? Yeah. The first takeaway is, how on earth do 15% of Democrats end up liking the idea of following Donald Trump to a kooky third party? That's not a great sign for Democrats. It implies that a significant portion of Democratic support is what we would call soft support. And we probably, many of us inferred that some years ago. But it is yet another indication that at least some support of Democrats for their own party is quite weak and they would abandon ship. But 15% of Democrats is nothing compared to 64% of Republicans. The bigger problem for Republicans is, now that we are several weeks post Donald Trump, it is still, for now, the party of Trump. And of course, if Donald Trump launches his own party, it would almost ensure disaster for Republicans, at least for one election cycle, but probably for more. And I love the idea, and I hope it happens. I mean, we talk about a third party spoiler effect when a third party candidate has a 1%, 2% in some key states. A third party spoiler like we have never seen before would be possible, with 64% of the Republican Party being willing to leave the Republicans and follow Donald Trump. Now, let's be very, very honest with ourselves. There's no doubt that some of the 64% in the poll who said I would leave the party and follow Trump, they wouldn't actually. They maybe like the idea of it right now, or they're saying that that's what they would do in order to, alarm the Republican Party, and the Republican Party should be very alarmed. But I don't think 64% of the Republican Party would actually abandon it and follow Donald Trump. But it could be 50%, it could be 45%, it could be 58%. Any of those numbers, I mean, even 25% abandoning would destroy the Republican Party for at least one election cycle, if not more. If you're wondering, by the way, why we've seen the Republican elected officials mostly, again, start kissing Trump's ass after the January 6th insurrection and since he left, it's because of these numbers. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene and these people are completely out of their mind. They're radicals. They're terrible for the country. But when they say this is still the party of Trump, when they say Trump still has our support, he still has the support of the party, they're right. They're absolutely and completely right. And that is what these numbers show us. So I hope Donald Trump does do this. It would be the exact cover that Democrats could use to just have Republicans too busy to obstruct Joe Biden's policy ideas. It would be absolutely delightful. I fully support Donald Trump starting another party. What if you could read 10 books in just one sitting? That's exactly what one of my favorite apps lets you do. It's called Blinkist. And what they do is take thousands of popular nonfiction books. They condense them down into text or audio that you can consume in 15 minutes. Blinkist makes sure that you're getting all of the important core insights from each book. So it's perfect for exploring a book you otherwise wouldn't have time for. If there's a full book you're thinking about buying, you can use Blinkist to get a sample first. Just think how much you can enrich yourself by being able to soak up an entire nonfiction book in just 15 minutes. I recently checked out the book Podcast Marketing Strategy by Daniel Rolls and Kieran Rogers, and so useful, so particularly applicable to what I'm doing. Really recommend it. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.